guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today, if you guys, is another, actually, it's the 4th podcast. Pretty crazy. And, of course, is my my buddy here, Echo KILLSH0T.
Yeah, what's up, guys? We're on number 4. That's like almost 5.
That is, yes. Very good point.
That's crazy.
I know. And just like always, we're going to be covering some more Ninjago content. So today we have Season 5, Possession, Season 6, Skybound, and the special Day of the Departed. And we're also going to cover a little bit of some Comic-Con stuff. We're filming this on the 23rd, so at the time of recording, Comic-Con is essentially just kind of kicked off. So I've got a few things to talk about. But anyway, let's start out with Ninjago Possession Season 5. We talked a little bit about this, off camera, off Discord, I guess, or off whatever. But what are your thoughts on Season 5 Possession as a whole?
I think it's probably my favorite season. I love the story. I love Moro as a villain. He's definitely my favorite villain by far. I think it's an immaculate season, man. I think all the factors, all the elements put into this, whether it be the relationships between, like the relationship that Wu and Moro have, it really plays in a key main part into the entire season as a whole. But then it also, it's the first time we get to learn more about the 16 realms. And that's just more Ninjago lore for you.
Exactly, yeah. This season, it really packs a punch in lore for sure. But you mentioned before that you liked the first episodes of the season is kind of what kickstarts it. And I think what really sticks in my head for the very first episode, Winds of Change, is Moro is kind of introduced. Because, this, I wouldn't call this season horror, but it's trying to be more creepy and kind of freaky than, season 2 or whatever, 6. So the intro to Moro is literally he just freaking, pretends to be a cop and just, takes a mallet, like a hammer, and just, tries to smash Lloyd's head with it, and then he just possesses him like a demon. And I think that always stuck with me ever since I saw the episode. And, I was like, oh, this guy means business. And then, like you said, the relationship between Wu and himself is pretty cool. Wu and Moro, I mean. And then we just go to, Go on.
Oh, my bad. So I love, guys, we always do this. It's so funny. We're using Discord. But I think Moro's theme is probably, the best theme ever.
For Ninjago, right?
Yeah, for Ninjago, but I think it's also a pretty good theme, compared to anything, just because it's different. The violin, the suspense, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, it's creepy. It like you said, it's very, I'm going to say disturbing, but yeah, it gives kind of an eerie presence about the whole thing. And then you get, the Soul Archer and his connection to Ronin, how he, kind of owes him money. It's kind of like Jabba the Hutt and Han Solo in a way.
Yeah, speaking of Ronin, you love to hate him, you hate to love him.
Yeah, exactly. And I mentioned that because you asked me off camera, you're like, oh, have we seen Ronin before? And for everyone watching who maybe hasn't seen the season or is just confused like I was when I first saw it, Ronin was actually introduced in a Lego Ninjago video game called Shadow of Ronin, or Shadows of Ronin, for the DS. I had it, not very good game. For some reason, none of the Ninjago games besides the Lego Ninjago movie game are really all that good. I don't know why. But he was introduced in that game, so that's why when they're like, oh man, we know Ronin, we go way back. And it's like, oh yeah, it's in the past, and that's what it is. But I think Ronin's kind of a cool, almost like a bounty hunter type character, he's literally kind of there to kind of screw over Nia,
Yeah, and speaking of Nia, I definitely think this is her season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the water ninja gets introduced. That's pretty big stuff.
Yeah, and it comes into play because what kills ghosts? Water. Surprisingly.
Yeah. Who'd have thought?
But it makes sense because they talk about how, if, ghosts are able to go through objects that are, still, but they can't go through objects that are, continuously moving.
Yeah. Right? They even the writers are like, man, how do we introduce, how do you say Nia is going to be the water ninja, and she can destroy ghosts without just seeming weird and kind of cliche. And they did it. I tell you guys, these writers, the Hageman brothers, they're like demigods in disguise.
Yeah, it's crazy how they're able to do it.
Yeah, they're like in the Cloud Kingdom. Speaking of the Cloud Kingdom, that the Destiny writing guys, that's pretty crazy. So when you really think about it, they were the ones that wrote Lloyd would be the Green Ninja, Garmadon would get bitten by the Great Devourer, right? I mean, they're kind of playing God.
But literally, like, I was genuinely shocked because all these seasons, okay, I was never thinking, oh, who's the higher power, but like the fact that everything and all they had to do was write it, and there's a really funny part where I believe it's Jay who messes up, like gets ink everywhere all over the piece of paper while somebody's trying to write Eric's Destiny, and then because it's all sloppy and messed up. Thanks, Jay. Dareth gets in a car crash.
Which shouldn't be funny, but because it's Dareth, it is, and then, what is it, like oil or something pours on him?
Yeah, I was gonna say like cow manure. That would have been real funny.
Yeah. Maybe you might see cow manure in a later season. I'll just say that.
I will look out for that.
Some kind of manure at least. So for Cursed World Part 1 and 2, right, where it's kind of all at a big climax here, I think that well, alright, I'll touch upon that. I wanted to touch upon something else. We'll get to it. But the end of the season, with Morrow's defeat, we're kind of slipping sliding all over the place, but for Morrow's defeat, I think that was really cool how he didn't necessarily, we were talking about this, he didn't necessarily turn good, but he didn't really stay bad either. He just kind of poofed into nothing.
Yeah, but when we eventually get there in the podcast, Day of the Departed, I do have something to say about this right here, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought they did Morrow great. I mean, the way that he just goes down with his ghost crew, I mean, what's that? I keep forgetting the preeminent, right? She's just using houses as freaking armor, because the final battle takes place in the city of Styx, right? Which is a weird name for a city, but nonetheless, there's a big giant monster, right? There's a big giant monster in the city, and it's surrounded by water. It's like a moat almost.
Uh-huh. And
then, because she's trying to get to the steamboat, I thought that was pretty cool how they handled that. Like the ending, the 2 final episodes are literally like, I don't want to say Avengers Endgame level, but they remind me of it. I think every season's final battle gets progressively better, and it just gets more intense and hype. And when Lloyd goes into the preeminent to destroy it, he ends up finding his dad, because at the end of the last season, Garmadon is thrown into the Cursed Realm. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah. No, it's cool, because I told you before, every season has a different story, but everything still connects in a way. It's not like we never saw Garmadon again, and you see him in this, and it's kind of an unfortunate fate he meets, but, I guess it's kind of like Kylo Ren, in a way. It's like, people are like, oh, Kylo Ren should have lived. It's like, well, if Ben Solo was alive, everyone would just hang him. He would just get executed, you know what I mean? People don't like Ben Solo. People don't like Garmadon. So I think that was a pretty fitting end.
Yeah, and it also makes me question whether I like Wu or Garmadon more. And Garmadon steals the show for me every time. I think he's the better brother.
Yeah.
Just in terms of giving life lessons. Like, you think
Wu
do that? Wu is better giving life lessons to the team. I remember this was all the way back in season 1, where he tells a ninja, he gives them a riddle to solve. And you make your enemy your friend, right? I thought that was done great. I think Garmadon is a really good, not only because he's his dad, but a really great role model for Lloyd. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, like, Wu
kind of got emotional.
Yeah, Wu gives mastery lessons, but Garmadon gives father lessons, and I think those are 2 different types of lessons.
Yeah, and Wu needs to get to work if he's going to be a father. He needs to get to work with
Misako.
Misako.
Yeah. Now, before we go to season 6 here, because we have a lot to cover in this one, I want to quickly mention Cole turning into a ghost. I think that was pretty ballsy. I mean, they must have balls of obsidian to do that, because not only is he a ghost in season 5, he's a ghost in season 6. They don't resolve that in the next season. So I think the writers really wanted the viewer to understand that choices have consequences, right? Not everything in the show happens and then just gets immediately resolved in the next episode, right? Sometimes they do. This one didn't. And I think that was a really cool thing that, you know, because you put yourself in a situation where the writers are probably like, oh, let's turn Cole into a ghost. And then 5 minutes later, they're sitting there going, well, what the hell do we do now? You know, like, how do we essentially gave a ghost on the ninja team, so now there's like an invulnerable guy. Oh, but now we can't touch water, you know, so they have all these really cool ideas to play with.
Yeah, and he took one for the team, too. I think Cole is one of the best developed ninja. Like, you'd think he, you know, based off of his voice and based off of, you know, his hairstyle, you'd think he'd be douchey. But really, on the inside, he cares for his friends, his brothers, the people that he loves, and you can really see that, and I love that, because he literally risks becoming a ghost to get the scroll.
Right.
I thought that was really good.
And then I forgot to mention Airjitsu. That's not really, for some reason, you'll see, it's not really that prevalent, but for this season, it's a big thing. I think Airjitsu is pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to fly. Kinda. I don't want to, like, you know, go round and round while I do it, because then I might throw up. But, you know, I want to fly.
Yeah, right. Cyclone Do.
Yeah, Cyclone Do.
So, if you were to give Possession a 0 out of 10 like we've been doing here, I'd give it a 10. I think it's easily one of my favorite seasons of the whole 15 so far. What are you going to give it here?
Yeah, for a Ninjago season, based in the Ninjago world, I'd also give it a 10. I'd give it an 11, just because, you know, the villain is awesome. The character development is awesome, especially for Cole and Nia. Everything about this season is awesome, and it doesn't feel like a chore to get through.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, every episode just builds on it until the end where it's like, holy crap, this is intense, you know?
Yeah, and it gets more and more intense just when you thought it was enough.
I know. I tell you, man. Alright, so we're going to move on to Season 6, Skybound, which, according to the internet, is like God-tier material. I love it. I think it's great. But I don't know if I'd necessarily give it a 10, but from what I remember, I'd probably give it like a 9, maybe. I really enjoy it. You know, it's just not my favorite, but I do really like it. So what are your thoughts on Skybound real quick here?
I think it's I think it's a pretty good season. I thought Nauticon, he's many things, okay? And you know, especially the whole part where, you know, he gets his crew back and he takes them back to his realm where his father is, and it's just all falling to shambles. You know, and his father tells him to avenge the Jin race or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Start fresh, you know?
Yeah.
I wish he was more a bloodlusted villain, a bloodlusted manipulative villain. He's definitely manipulative, okay? That's something that I love about villains, how manipulative they can be, how they can connect with the protagonist, how they can give them a different perspective on things. And that's, you know, I'm not trying to compare the two, but that's something I think Heath Ledger's Joker did. I like Joker as a terrorist because Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, he really gives the protagonist a different point of view on things, on what it's like for them. But in this case, Nauticon is power hungry, and that's why he's manipulating the ninja. And I will say this: the fact that he's able to manipulate the smartest being on the face of Ninjago is crazy to me. It's crazy to me, and they're doing it while playing a chess match.
Yeah. And
one by one, he's picking off the ninja. And guess what? At the end, it's all up to Jay. And this leads to my next point. This is a very Jay-focused season, and oh my gosh, Jay and Nia, oh my gosh, I love that. But what do you think?
Well, going back to Nauticon, I think that you mentioned he's manipulative. He's also very manipulative of his crew. He's complete. He's just backstabbing his crew every 5 freaking minutes. You know, Clancy, the guns like this. I think that was really cool that they were able to kind of, you know, he's kind of the one that stands up in the end, but a lot of them, what is Doubloon, Flintlock, that's right, the Big Fig, the lady, I don't remember her name, but
I love that the big lady, we're just gonna call her the big lady, big lady pirate, big pirate lady. Yeah. I love that she is I want to say she's a fair fighter. She's a fair fighter. Yeah. I love that. When she's facing off against Nia in the forest, she helps her out of that cobweb, that spider web, and then Nia's like, what? I like that. I like that they try to make it a fair fight.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool element too. I think a lot of people first glance go, "Oh, this is stupid," but like you said, it's all about character, man. Every even the villains have a character, and I think that's really cool. But yeah, being a Jay-focused season was really cool because Jay has always been kind of like the black sheep ninja, in my opinion. He's kind of like the one he's good, but he ain't, he ain't that good. And this season, when I watched it for the first time, and every time I rewatch it or think about it, it really kind of cements the fact that he is not only a good ninja, but he's also a good person. You know, like he's funny and he's the joking ninja, and but so many other TV, especially so many animated shows, make the funny guy. That's it. But Jay's the funny guy, but he's also 10 times more than that. He's not just there to make you laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the hero of the season, and kind of reminded me of Spider-Man. The funny, the comedic timing, but also the fact that, bro, you mess with my girl Nia, man, I'm gonna take you out.
Yeah, we go take you
on a date, Nauticon. My dinner with Nauticon, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also
episode 6.
Nauticon is so manipulative. He made me, the viewer, think that Jay was adopted, and that broke my heart. But I laughed. I'm sorry, but I just it was. I don't want to say it was laughable, but it's like, oh, no way, no way.
Yeah, it's like how much more can this guy take? Like, for God's sake, he gets like beat up in a gang. He gets his eye jacked up. His girlfriend's about to get killed, and then he's just like thing after thing. And that was cool. Is that Jay literally suffers like again and again on that ship. The pirate ship.
I was wondering at the beginning of the season why it's called Skybound. And then I realized, oh, it's just a city in the sky. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, there you go. Skybound. Kind of confused me the first few episodes, but no, the fact that the first episode we're introduced to the ninjas being celebrities, saying reading go, and here's something I didn't say when we were talking off camera that I want to mention now. So they're going to this hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the purple ninja, the disabled kid, right? He's trying to get them away. Yeah, he's trying to get them away from all the fangirls. He goes to the stairway, and because he's pretty much paralyzed, he says, "This is the farthest I could go."
Yes.
And then there's one kid that's jealous and says, "I wish my legs were broken."
Yeah.
Bro, I swear, that's dark humor for Ninjago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, I know. But
this is the farthest I could go. I would go farther, but, well, you see.
Yeah, I can't.
That was so funny.
And by the way, we're not laughing at disabled people. We're laughing at the joke.
Really? I thought we were laughing at both.
I mean, you might be. I just don't want to piss any subscribers off.
Oh, no. No, I respect all disabled people.
Yeah. Obviously. It's just a funny joke that it's in the show.
Obviously. I kind of felt disabled today, but aside from that, Dareth being their manager, being fame hungry, money hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd expect it from Dareth, but why? I just got to think of this as like a prelude to the season. Why would the ninjas can even consider Dareth as their manager? Because they know the guy too well.
That's probably why he got in. They're like, hey, we know you. You can do it. You're an idiot, but you can do it.
We've been through so much too. Like, remember when I had Garmadon's helmet and I was able to control that stone army? I totally saved you guys.
Yeah. You owe me one.
Brown Ninja. The Brown Ninja. Oh, remember that time where I was dancing to Elvis Presley, and then a bunch of Master Chen's henchmen came after me? I did that on purpose because I wanted to be with you guys because I have a plan to get us out of the noodle factory. That was me, the Brown Ninja.
Dareth is like Jar Jar Binks. You know what I mean? It's like they're complete idiots, but they're both like completely necessary to the story.
Yeah.
But, alright, so the last part about Season 6, and we could probably talk forever on this, but I liked how the season ends in a way where it's like the season never even happened. You know, like literally at the end of the... Yeah, I know, it blew my mind, because it's like the end of the season ends with where they're... I think it was the first episode where they're on like the sky, or like the billboard with the helicopter.
Yeah, and I didn't know that was gonna be like, you know, if I knew this going back to watch the first episode of the season, I would have been like, why this moment though? But now it all makes sense, kinda, because that's the first time that Nia doesn't want to take Jay's hand, really. Right. I would say, because at the first season you're like, why are they complaining so much to each other? And I think Nia is kind of over exaggerating when she says like, I need to be my own person. Why are you trying to make me this, that? Okay, one, that was woo. Two, when my other self kissed you, when my evil self kissed you, you were blushing. So, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't give me that crap, Nia.
and Jay, like, come on, who wouldn't do this for Nia? Jay just got heartbroken. He said, "Well, all we're gonna be is friends." Jay got heartbroken, man. But in the end, he got a rich house. Yeah, he got friend zone. But then he gets this super rich house, right? And he finds out that his father is Fritz Donegan.
Pretty insane stuff. Yeah, and then he like tries to get he gets like a book where it's like how to lie to women. But yeah, I think going back to Nia, I think that the city of Ninjago, like the people that live in Ninjago City, they usually see Nia as either the girl ninja or Samurai X, or, you know, she does kind of fade into the background before Season 5 in a sense, and I understand where she's coming from, but yeah, I mean, you know, look, think about anything too much, your brain's gonna hurt, but yeah, that's a good point you bring up, but I think it works, because, you know, like, if you remember in, like, Season 1, where, you know, like, they're in Jamonikai Village, and Kai's like, oh, Nia, you stay here, because you need to watch the ship, and she'd always be like, ah, oh, darn it, you know, so now that she is the Water Ninja, and she's able to kind of, for once, kind of think independently, without being tied to either a ship or a label, which I don't want to get woke, because it's not, but it is a very interesting topic, you know, to bring up. And I'll say this, I think Rey's a great role model for, I don't want to say little girls, but for girls. I think Nia, honestly, is probably one of, if not the best role model for just women in general. Like, she's just a great character to relate to. And I can't, but she is a very well-written character.
Yeah, no, definitely. I wish I could relate to her, you know?
Yeah.
Especially
I mean, we all feel lonely sometimes, but, I mean, I'm not a girl.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I want to say, though, Jay, I love how Jay and Thor in this Thor Ragnarok situation, like, all the on, okay? Lloyd becomes wise now, and that one time, I think I really like Lloyd. It's when he's wise.
When he's old.
Yeah, when he's old, and then they use all their wishes, and Jay's like, stop using your wishes! But when he forms the Revengers, you could say, he gets the chief of police, he gets Ronin, he gets Skylar, he gets Dareth, he gets everybody. Yeah. It's an unstoppable team, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I did not expect that. I thought that was pretty funny.
And Captain Soto.
Yeah, and Captain Soto. Captain Soto's funny, man.
Yeah, he's got, what did he have, like, the freaking, they're like, everyone be quiet, and he's walking around with, like, a horn for a leg.
Yo, I laughed whenever they were breaking out of prison in that episode. Is Guano, he's like, and then Kai's like, really?
Yeah,
That's so funny.
that was. So, what would you give season 6? Anything you want to say on it before you give it a final score?
Once again, I think I like Moro more as a villain in this one more than Nauticon. Nauticon is still a great villain. I think this season overall is fun. It's enjoyable. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the last few episodes, and maybe just because it felt like a long season, but it did kind of feel like a chore to get through like 2 of the episodes. I don't know. I don't know because it wasn't at like a time where I was like super invested to where I'm like, oh, I got to keep on going. But you know, I thought I never underestimated a Ninjago episode.
Yeah, they pull the rug out from under your feet when you're not even looking.
Yeah. But 1 out of 10, I'd probably have to give it like a 9.2, 9.3. It's like I said, it's still a good season. Anything over 9, which I've pretty much given every Ninjago season on every single one of these podcast episodes, I think it's great. And it's good that they haven't missed yet, which I mean, Franchise Fanatic told me that season 8 won't hit as good, but I hope you're wrong.
No. Season 7 won't. Season 8 is the best season ever made.
No, you said season 7. That's what I'm about to start watching.
Yeah. Season 7 is my least favorite. I don't hate it, but yeah, we'll get to it next podcast. So the last Ninjago bit of news here, or bit of discussion we have, is Day of the Departed, which is between season 6 and 7. It's kind of like a 40-minute special, and this, without a doubt, is probably tied with Hands of Time as my least favorite thing in the canon. But I have good things to say about it, right? I don't hate it. But from when you told me, it sounded like you freaking liked it. So tell me about it. What did you think?
Well, first I want to say that I tried to get this on a Google Drive for free.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, I still ended up having to pay $4 for it, but yeah, it was worth it. So I love Day of the Departed. I like Day of the Departed because it brings all the villains back. It brings Sensei Yang back, which I said this. I don't think we talked about Sensei Yang yet in this podcast episode. Not as much as I wanted to, at least. We talked about it off camera though. So I wanted to learn more about Sensei Yang because he was really only there for like 1 episode.
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 episodes, and we got that. And I'm happy that it's coal based, but also involves all the ninja. Because each villain, like when Yang like recruits all the villains, and Pythor isn't even dead, and he volunteers. Like I thought Pythor was gonna be more good, but no, man. Bro wants to go after Lloyd because he's butt hurt.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's tail hurt.
Yeah, but he's tail hurt. Yeah. But I love that he sets each of the villains. So I think there's the Stone Army guy, which I think I don't know his name, the skeleton guy.
It's General Kozu.
Kozu. He comes back, and then skeleton guy. I think skeleton guy goes after Jay. Kozu goes after who's he go after?
I don't know. Freaking, I don't know. He goes somewhere.
He goes somewhere, and then Moro goes after Wu. After Kai and Nia, which I think it's sweet that they go back to where Ninjago first started. Their parents' shop. I thought that was pretty sweet. And then there's like a couple more. I'm having a brain fart right now. The point is, I like how they brought every one of them back. Now I think it's kind of creepy that you have a museum for display for like all these villains, which they look pretty real, but especially Cole trying to like there's like big consequences if Cole doesn't beat Sensei Yang, but obviously Cole is such a badass that he takes care of all the students. He even tries to like convince one of them to like let him free.
Yeah, Chuck.
But obviously they're in a trance. Yeah, Chuck. But I love that. I love Cole using his spinjitzu while he's in ghost form. I thought that was pretty cool, and especially when he's fighting Yang and they're having this like almost back to back like talking. Like I love that too when the villain and the hero fight while they're talking and explaining their motives. Sensei Yang is like, I have to do this. I have to go back to my physical form. But
then Cole's like, no,
and I love how Moro. Yeah. I love how Moro though. Come on, Moro turns good. Moro turns good in this because
I didn't want to spoil it.
He's definitely more friendly. Like I genuinely thought he was gonna come back for revenge, and even Sensei Wu was shocked. But the snippet that we got. I love Moro in this, man. I love turn good pretty much for the most part, and then he just goes and drifts off away.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because like
hero moment.
Yeah, big hero moment for sure. I think that whenever Kai or whenever one of the brought back whenever Yang, I don't know how to word it. When Yang brings all the villains back, and whenever they quote-unquote die, their ghost kind of leaves their body. And because Moro's already a ghost, he just kind of, like, peacefully goes away. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, I think that was a good ending for Moro.
And then Yang, you wanted to talk about Yang. So I think Yang is pretty cool. I think, he created Air Jitsu. He was in Season 5, of course. And this one, he kind of, like you said, we get to see more of his backstory and kind of more about him. And I think it's cool that we get more characters that aren't just Sensei Wu. We get more elemental, or not more, more Spinjitzu type masters in there. It's like, you can't tell me the only guy who knows stuff is Wu. So I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but Sensei Yang sounds more English. Like, not as, like, doing, dong, dang, boing, doing.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Like, not as elderly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Yang served a great purpose for a short amount of time, and then Cole reminds him that you created Air Jitsu, which kind of makes people sick, but you did that. Nobody's going to forget you.
Yeah.
And I think it was in Coco, but I think what he was so worried about is that the more people forget you, you like drift off out of the afterlife into the deep darkness of the giant void. I don't know.
Yeah. No, definitely.
It was a great send off for Yang, and Cole. Is like, what are you doing when he's trying to like save them both and get them back to their physical form?
Uh-huh.
But then just in the nick of time, Yang is like, nah, bro, somebody has to still be here, and it's gonna be me. And I thought that was not really corny, but just, like you don't have to. I mean, it's fine, but it's cool. I mean, at least it was restored back to its natural form.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. And I'm pretty sure there's a Lego set of that, too.
I'm not sure. It's funny, I wish I had more Lego Ninjago sets. I have a lot of the dragons, but because they're dragons, they take up, like, an ungodly amount of room on my shelf.
Really?
Yeah, because the freaking wingspan is, like, super-duper wide, but... Yeah, so I think my issues with the Day of the Departed special, I think the writing isn't as sharp. I think that it's kind of boring because Cole's just kind of like sitting in like captivity for half of it. And I do love the fight scene when he beats up all the students. I think that's really well done.
And I just think tired. Some of
the... Yeah. He's like, don't make me hurt you too. Like, yeah, he's kind of getting sick of it too, But I think like when... I like Zane versus the General, what's-his-face, the Nindroid. I don't know, just some of the, like Chen versus Kai and Nia was kind of boring to me. Like, he just kind of, like, shoots a missile and then that's it. So I think, like, some of the animations seemed a bit lazy to me. Especially because, like, Season 7 which you'll see. It's really good animation, but also kind of really bad animation. So it's kind of all over the place. But I do honestly think that it's kind of an underrated special, Day of the Departed, because, you know, a lot of people hate this online. I don't hate it, but I do think there's a few issues. But overall, I'd probably give it like an 8 or a 7.5 out of 10. I think that it is still good, but I think compared to the first 6 that you and me have just talked about, I don't think it holds a candle to that. But thankfully, like I said, Season 7's a bit better, and then 8 through the rest is just God tier.
I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10 too, 8.2 or something, just because it's pretty much a length of 2 episodes. I think it's very lighthearted, especially at the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Morrow becoming a good guy. I really love that for his character. But yeah, I really think that it's an underrated special. I haven't seen all the other specials yet. I know there's like the Island,
right,
and something else, I think. But yeah, I'd
sorry
for like a 2 episode. I think it's pretty good, and it's not like a whole season length, so I'm gonna have to like dumb it down to like an 8. But I think it was. I think it was good.
Now, last thing about this here, before we move on to Comic-Con for a little bit here, what do you think about Cole getting a scar? Because that's going to play a pretty big role in the later seasons, and it's kind of a reminder.
So I saw that. I was like, he gets a scar, you know, because I saw it when it was the closing shot. And I definitely, now that you brought it up, I can't wait to learn more about that in the coming seasons.
Yeah, it's just, it sets up a pretty cool thing, and I think you're going to like it. So, that is Ninjago, guys. That is Season 5, 6, and Day of the Departed. Great stuff. Glad I'm talking about it again. Any chance I get to talk about Ninjago, I'll effing take it. But now we're going to move on to Comic-Con. So, it's currently happening right now. Apparently tomorrow we're going to get some Ninjago Crystallized news, Part 2. We're going to get a bunch of crazy stuff. Some notable stuff I want to talk about, or at least I don't know if you've seen them, but I saw the trailers so far, and I'll try to link them in the description of this video. Is John Wick Chapter 4, Black Adam Trailer 2, I believe, Shazam 2 trailer, and then Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Have you seen any of these trailers yet? If so, what do you think?
I've seen. Okay, so I got like a whole bullet point list here. I'll let you know my thoughts and if I've seen it or not. But we're gonna go in order here. You know, because I'm gonna know your thoughts on these.
So,
but yeah, I'll share my thoughts too.
Okay, I mean, for John Wick Chapter 4, I think John Wick is a franchise I didn't expect to love. Mainly because when it came out, I wasn't allowed to watch it, and I was like, oh, well, I can't watch it, the hell with that, you know? But once I was 17, 16, whatever, I think I was like 18, honestly, but, you know, ever since I saw them, I was like, oh, these are actually, like, the trilogy is, like, they're probably one of the best action movie franchises of all time. Like, the action scenes are brilliant, they're well shot, the movies are pretty good. You know, Keanu Reeves isn't that great of an actor, he's just kind of going, yeah, a lot, you know, that's kind of it, but I think that...
I'm back!
Yeah.
I'm back!
Yeah.
I don't know how he was in Point Break, but I know my cousin was phenomenal in that. Should have gone an Oscar, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's another video rant, though, for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to review that Point Break movie.
I'm gonna have to see
it. With my cousin Patrick Swayze and to see how he collabed with Keanu.
Yeah, I need to watch it too. That's funny.
Yeah.
I forgot about that movie. I see he's good in Matrix, but John Wick, you know, he's just kind of whatever. But I think it's a good franchise, and Chapter 4 looks very freaking awesome, man. It's like it looks very almost like Asian inspired, with like the katanas and the samurai fighting and all that. It looks really cool.
Yeah. I saw that. They're going to like I saw this on like a tweet. Speaking of tweets, in just under 15 minutes, the Marvel Studios panel is going to be starting. So this is like perfect timing, I guess.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, I haven't gotten around to watching the John Wick films, which I'm sorry. I'll get to watching them, but I'm gonna take your word for it that they are one of the best action movies of all time. What do you think of like the poster though? And like I said, I heard they were going to like Japan, Germany, London, all these places, and the U.S. of course, because you know the U.S. is where movies are made. mostly.
Yeah, mostly. What poster are you talking about? Oh, like a Comic-Con poster?
Yeah, there was like a Comic-Con poster. I don't know if you've seen it. Which that's fine. But yeah.
Let me put on images. I'm googling it. There's so many effing posters. It's just like him. It's just a picture of him. From
Yeah,
what I
there's like an
see.
official poster though.
Oh, I don't know. I'll find it later. I don't want to waste time. But I mean, it
Yeah, I'd say it
seems.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got like nunchucks.
Yeah, dude. It's like Jay.
Yo! No way.
Yeah.
Just realized that. Yeah, so I haven't seen the trailer yet. Just because I'm not like a diehard John Wick fan, but yeah, it's like 1 minute and like 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's not too long, but it looks cool.
Well, that's good. That's promising.
Yeah. Black Adam. What are your thoughts on Black Adam?
Okay. Okay, so here's the problem. That they make Black Adam look like so OP, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, in the trailer we see him go freaking Super Saiyan, and I don't know, it just feels like another Hollywood now. Get this, ba 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 ba. And I get it. It's like it's a big time Hollywood movie, especially with a big actor like The Rock. I think I'm more excited for Shazam 2, which we'll get to in a bit, but I'm excited for Black Adam. I think the two trailers that OP is, but it goes back to talking about how my son risked his life for me. Now the world didn't get a hero, they got me,
Yeah.
You want to mess with The Rock.
Yeah, that's in the trailer too, by the way. They really do. You're right. It does seem kind of cliche, kind of corny. The world got him. It's like, yeah, okay, all right. I think the DCEU was good. Exactly. Now, I might be in the wrong here, but I think the DCEU is very good. I think Man of Steel is great. BVS Ultimate Edition, great. Justice League, Snyder Cut, great. Wonder Woman, I like Suicide Squad 1. So some of them, I'm kind of weird on that. But, we don't really have a Batman or a Superman in the freaking DCEU yet. I mean, there's rumors that Henry Cavill's coming back, and it might get announced at Comic-Con. Who knows? But it's kind of weird that, like, they're because Black Adam is kind of.
News.
What's that?
I got some bad news.
What's that?
Okay, so the DC panel was today. So I think DC is pretty much like done for their Comic-Con, and Henry Cavill didn't show up. He was filming The Witcher 3. I don't. That's what one of the bullet points was on here that we were going to talk about. Henry Cavill not showing up for Superman.
Well, now I'm sad.
So, yeah, I don't really have that much of a connection with Henry Cavill Superman. Here's the thing with DC fans, okay? They overhype this so much. Look, I'm not trying to be like a sour face or a doubter, but I don't think it was ever going to happen. I mean, yeah, no. You got these articles that say, 99% of, or not, this article page is 99% correct all the time. Well, it doesn't mean I should really take its word for it. I mean, we don't know. I'm trying to keep the woke stuff out of here, but don't believe everything you really hear say, because it's just, they should have, it's hard to explain. I want to hear your thoughts on this, though.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is weird. It's awkward because the MCU, despite having a few hit and misses, they're consistent in their acting and their actors. And this is like, oh, cool, we have Batman and Superman. Oh, well, they're gone. Oh, Flash. Oh, well, he's in Mexico with a kidnapped kid. Oh, okay, well, we have freaking who? I don't know, Shazam? He's still here until Zachary Levi does something stupid.
I really want to ignore the fact that he is in the what is left of the DCEU. I'm going to try to ignore the fact that he's even a part of that universe because I really don't want them to ruin it. Because I think Shazam is probably top 3 best DCEU movies of all time. Because it's such a fun movie. it's such a fun movie, and I was really excited for the sequel. They even mentioned in the trailer that, you know, Superman, Batman, Flash, which if you notice, they don't show his face at all. They don't show Ezra Miller's face at all. It's funny.
They were like, we can't show that. And I swear to God, was Amber Heard, was she in the Black Adam trailer? Because I swear to God, I saw someone that looked just like Mara.
Yeah, no, that she's played by that one girl from the West Side Story movie.
Mara? So they have a different actor?
No, it's not Mara at all. It's
a different character. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm walking on the treadmill and I see this. I'm like, holy crap! Is that Mara? Like Amber Heard?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so Black Adam looks good. I think it's a little corny. I think, you know, I'm of course going to see it, but the whole idea of like, oh, is it good or bad? And then he's just like blowing people up, and I mean, clearly the trailer tells the audience he's a villain. I mean, in the comics, he's a freaking villain to Shazam. So they're clearly.
I swear, if they pull Morbius here and they try to make the villain look like a hero, you can't. Okay, except for Joker, you cannot make a villain movie, except for Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, make the villain look like a hero. Like he's a villain. And
what about Cruella?
Cruella? That was good. That was good. I didn't really see her as a villain in that movie, though.
Yeah.
You know, because I actually agree with her on some things. Yeah, yeah.
But no, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Black Adam. I was a Black Panther, but it's weird. It really is weird because, like, you know, you look at you want to like rewatch the DCEU to lead up to it, but then you're like, oh wait, there's no Batman, there's no Superman, there's probably not going to be a Flash after his movie. So the DCEU is practically in shambles. Like they're literally like disintegrating as we speak. And
yeah, I'm sorry to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry to anybody that, you know, any DCEU fans, like diehard fans that still have hope that it's going to be reestablished, but I don't see it going anywhere. Like they're apparently they're owned by like Discovery now, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't have any hope for this franchise. There were a lot of good movies. There were a lot of bad movies. God almighty, a lot of bad movies. But I just hope you know, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Black Adam. I don't have any hope for the Flash, and I'm a huge Flash fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, like even I'm not really that hyped. Just because of what Ezra Miller did, and even prior to this, before Ezra Miller did all that crap, Warner Brothers has not really been good with. I mean, that's why we got this Snyder Cut. It's because fans kept demanding it, right?
Right.
I feel like Warner Brothers shouldn't have to do that. They should be able to have their own ideas, be able to stabilize their own universe. I mean, I get they make other movies and stuff, but I mean, you're trying to juggle so much, whereas, you know, Marvel Studios, they have their own Marvel Studios, right? They're able to keep it stabilized and in check. But yeah, I don't see the DC EU going really anywhere unless you want to make a sequel to Black Adam in the future or something. But yeah I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. I think I love a lot of the DC. I pretty much like all the DCU movies for the most part. There's a few I like better than others, but compared to the MCU has a vision. Maybe not Phase 4 yet, but the entire MCU from Iron Man 1 to Thor Love and Thunder, there is a connection between it all, and it all makes sense within the same canon. They're constantly going back and forth, and now they're just going to do Shazam stuff the whole rest of the time. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's all out of whack. And I'm looking forward to both these. I'm looking forward to Flash. You know, like, I'm not going to not see any of them. But at the same time, I'm much, you know, honestly, like, I think I like DC as much as Marvel. Like, I don't believe in that, oh, Marvel's better than DC. Like, I just like them both. But at the same time, Marvel makes better films, I think. And then...
Definitely.
Because, like, the DC movies, they're like, oh, why, DCEU fans get all pissed off when they say they hear the MCU's better. It's like, it's better because they have a freaking vision. Like, it's not like they... Like, imagine if they did Iron Man 1, 2, 3 with Robert Downey, and then Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, it was like Tom Cruise, because Robert Downey Jr. was, like, doing weird crap. That's what the DCU does. They go, they hire an actor for like 10 movies, and then they cancel them in the first or second film, and then they ask themselves, why is our franchise failing? It's like, well, you're screwing yourselves.
You literally took your two powerhouses, okay? Your two, the first two movies, Batman and Superman. You take that away, and you don't do that with Iron Man. Marvel doesn't do that with Iron Man, because he's here to stay for, pun intended, the end game. But most definitely, and they gave him a good send-off. And now there's just it's just like, oh, we're here. Next one, blank. We don't know what to do because we hired both of our really notable superheroes and actors. Ooh, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's just anything coming back from that. Like, I don't think Warner Brothers, even though they own the rights, should be making DC movies. I think they should be distributing them like Disney. But you see how Marvel has a whole different like studio, a whole different company to manage this stuff. Warner Brothers is just kind of one thing, and they own like HBO Max. That wait, that didn't make any sense. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, Disney isn't making Marvel movies. Marvel Studios is making Marvel movies.
You're saying DC should have like its own like DC Studios, something like that.
Exactly. Detective Comics Studios, and I know that sounds a bit corny reading it out loud, but I think if you had two separate companies, one that owns it and distributes it, and one that actually makes the movies, you wouldn't have to worry so much about finding your actors and trying to be Marvel and pump out so much movies when you don't even have a battle plan, or you don't even have a plan like Marvel did. And look, I'd say sometimes the DCU tried to be like Marvel. I want them to be their own thing. Yeah. But in terms of being like Marvel, get yourselves a Detective Comics Studios, and boom, like, just if they even have the reputation to start from scratch, but. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned, because, when Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, right, those are very dark and serious films. And then you get stuff like Justice League 2017 or Shazam. Those aren't, I wouldn't say they're comedies, but they're a lot less serious. And you can tell. Like, even with Wonder Woman 1 and 2, they were trying to be like Marvel. And it flopped even for them. It's just like... The reason why Marvel movies aren't successful and good is because they're funny. It's because they can juggle humor, darkness, seriousness, action, complex storylines in a well-thought-out franchise and universe. And DC, I think they're trying to ride the coattails of that. And again, I love DC. I'm not a DC hater. But at the same time, I think they're trying to... DC is like the little brother, and Marvel's the big brother. It's like that.
Yeah. I pray for all you DCU fans that still have hope. I clearly don't. I don't want to be that guy, but what can I say? What can I say? It was already shown, Henry Cavill not returning for Man of Steel 2, which everybody had hope. Everybody had hope because of 3 articles that are. But I mean, oh God. He was literally filming Witcher 3 in London. Witcher Season 3 in London. I just think that's kind of hilarious. Y'all didn't know that? Yeah. Do your research on Henry Cavill was doing?
So I just looked it up, and apparently it says here, Black Adam, right? This is today at Comic-Con. Dwayne Johnson got a bunch of boos from the audience, so they all went boo. They all booed him because he said Superman, Henry Cavill failed to appear, like you said, but Johnson says Superman is still key to disrupting DCEU's hierarchy of power. So, yeah, he wasn't there, but apparently he's not. It's still canon.
This is reminding me of the Morbius thing, right? When they showed Spider-Man, but he wasn't even in there. Dwayne Johnson said back when DC had its first own like Comic-Con, right? I forgot what it's called, but DC had its own Comic-Con.
the Fandom.
Yeah, Fandom, right? And we got our first little look at Black Adam, and says that the hierarchy of power will go against Superman. Do. You know? So Dwayne Johnson is definitely a liar. Because I mean, I don't want to say he's a liar, because it's one thing coming back as like a cameo. It's another thing coming back for like a whole movie, but I think it's neither. I just think Henry Cavill is done because he got treated so badly in the studio.
Yeah, but he's my favorite Superman.
Anyways, we gotta move on from DC because we still got a whole lot of stuff to talk about. So I Am Groot, 5 short, you could say five little shorts, okay, and Vin Diesel gets a fat paycheck for saying 3 words.
Yeah, right.
Well, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, Groot's not a baby anymore. He's a teen, and this is apparently canon.
I don't think this is canon, though. Well, it is? Oh.
I think it's just taking place before he's a kid.
He looks younger.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
We got our first trailer, too.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. It's just like... it looks fun. It just looks kind of... it looks different. But it's definitely not... it don't look bad. I don't know. Apparently, James Gunn clarified that it could be canon. So, I think... I don't know. To make it, not confusing, let's just say it isn't. Because then the whole MCU timeline's going to get jacked up again. But it looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. We're just going to be hearing, I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. For 5 episodes. But you know what? It's Marvel. I'll still watch it. We'll see how it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's much more to discuss about that. Except if they were to make a season 2. But speaking of season 2, what if?
Yes.
Okay. Why are people hating on the fact that What If is getting a season 2? And why is this on the lowest rankings of MCU TV shows? It really did nothing to the MCU. Okay, first of all, it wasn't meant to be in the MCU. You knew that coming in.
Yeah.
And good criticism is based on what you get, not what you want to get or want to see, okay? And that's a really good life lesson for movie nerds out here. But it was a fun time. It was good scenarios, and we get even more of that. And to be honest, it's coming out next year, early next year. That is great, because I thought season 2 was going to come out in 2024 or 2025.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm excited. They're going to put that Tony Stark episode, right? He was on Sakaar. They're going to put that in season 2. It was supposed to be in season 1, but we're still getting it. But and we're going to get some hella stuff. I'm pumped for that. I don't see why people are not pumped for that, because
I know why they're not pumped.
It's a fun show. Why are they not pumped?
They're not pumped because it's an animated show and everyone thought it was for little kiddies. That's why. I know for a fact. Because it's funny, because I've seen it and it's definitely not a kid show. It's literally the same rating as an MCU movie. It's for teenagers and up. It's not for little babies.
Especially
it's brutal.
That Doctor Strange episode.
Yeah.
Holy darkness. That was dark. I hate people. Okay, no, I don't hate people, but I hate people that think... Okay, I hate the people that think that an animated show it's just going to be for kids. It's just going to be for kids. Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, Invincible. That's a TV show on Prime Video. Oh my gosh, it is gruesome. It has, so many bad words in it, and I actually have the first 40 issues, and it's gruesome. It's just as gruesome as it is in the comic as it is in the TV show.
Uh-huh.
And then Sausage Party, that was an animated one, and we all know it was more of a comedy, but that's not for kids.
Yeah.
So people that say that, look at those 2 shows and movies, and keep telling me that What If Season 2 is just going to be for kids.
Yeah.
Because it's animated. Aside from that, though, the animation does look good. I love the animation style.
Uh-huh. No, I enjoyed Season 1. I can't wait for a Part 2. But yeah, I'm gonna make a video soon about that because that whole animation stigma really pisses me off. But yeah, it's.
I think you did. I think you like did like 4 times, and now I guess you're gonna make another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a 5th one.
Yeah. Now we got some Spider-Man stuff. Okay.
All right.
Spider-Man freshman year.
I don't know anything about that.
So apparently this is canon to the MCU. This is like a prequel to Homecoming and Civil War. Okay? And get this. The villains are gonna be and the mentor, instead of it being Tony Stark, this is canon by the way, it's gonna be Norman Osborn. Dr. Octopus is gonna be in the show. Okay? He's gonna be one of the villains. Ned and MJ are nowhere to be seen because we got some images. And it shows like, oh, Peter's friend group, and Ned and MJ were nowhere to be seen. So is this canon or not? Because they said it was canon.
I think it is
so confusing.
Well, because Peter met MJ and Ned in high school, and this is before high school. So that explains.
This is freshman year.
Oh yeah, then I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see it to find out. I'm imagining the MCU is so freaking confusing; it's unreal. So I think that. I think they'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because it's kind of going to be like What If. It's going to give us like a classic comic book style, like real classic, like Spider-Verse, like out of the comic book. So it's going to be an animated show, and they already confirmed a season 2. So it's going to be Spider-Man's sophomore year. What the hell? Spider-Man Homecoming and Civil War take place during sophomore year. Like what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's so confusing, but you know what's not going to be confusing? Okay, since we're done with our thoughts on that, X-Men 97.
Yeah, so I've never actually seen that show before, but apparently is it a reboot or a continuation?
I want to say it's a reboot.
Okay, that's cool because that's okay. Well, that's the first thing Disney has owned as X-Men. Because a lot of people, look, just for the record, Disney doesn't make Marvel or Star Wars or Avatar. They own it, all right? They don't make it. So I think that it's very cool that X-Men is going to be distributed under Disney for the first time. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, but I feel like one of the reasons it's called X-Men 97 is because it was made in 1997 and it was meant to be in that animation style back then.
Okay.
So I don't really see the point of this show. I guess it's just for like new viewers, but then again, the new viewers can go back and watch the original X-Men 97. And not only that, a season 2 has been confirmed.
Huh.
So this is crazy, and it's not supposed to be coming out until like 2024. Same with freshman year.
Jeez.
Yeah, so and that's not all the animated shows, folks. We got Marvel Zombies.
Oh yeah.
Now, remember when we were talking about how gruesome animated isn't for kids? Blah, 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 blah. Marvel Zombies is apparently going to be for mature audiences, and it's going to be animated.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that zombie episode in the show is brutal. Like, they were getting decapitated and bisected like crazy.
Yeah, it was one of the most fan-favorited episodes. One of the best episodes in the show, in my opinion. And the fact that we're getting a whole series based off of that. We're getting Jimmy Woo, okay? We're getting, like, Okoye. We're getting, Shang-Chi, okay? We're getting all of these, and we're going to get so many zombie forms of all these characters. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. Marvel is just getting bigger and bigger. I hope they continue to remain good and they don't drop in quality. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, and here we go. This is where you get to shine. Not so much me, because I haven't really finished Lord of the Rings. So no spoilers, please. But Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Yeah, so this is we could talk for 6 hours, but we're pushing over an hour here, so this will be the last topic. But yeah, I mean, look, I love without spoiling, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit it's one of my favorite franchises, period. I think the Hobbit trilogy is better. I know everyone's going to kill me right now. I just actually finished the extended version of Return of the King, the third Lord of the Rings film. And having seen all 6 extended versions of the movies, the extended versions are the way to go. They're longer by a lot, but they're 10 times better than the normal version. And upon rewatching that, I was like, wow, dude, I'm freaking pumped. Like, this is awesome. You know, the Shadow of Mordor and War games, they're not canon, but they're fun. Lego The Lord of the Rings and Lego The Hobbit, great games. I read the Hobbit book, so, you know, I know a fair bit of this franchise. Rings of Power is technically canon, and this is where it gets confusing to talk about, because it's the most expensive TV show of all time, and I just saw the trailer.
That's nuts. That is like crazy to me. Like, you think it'd be like a Marvel show,
Right.
or something, but no, bro.
Yeah. Rings of Power it is. #1 expensive show. But it looks good, like production value. It looks very good. The trailer I also saw looks fun, and it looks interesting. Because it's during the Second Age, before Sauron and all that, for the ring, the One Ring and all that stuff. But there's a lot of issues with the canon that they disregard. And it's hard for me to talk about this on YouTube without being called a million names by the certain groups of people. But it is a very woke show. I mean, that's just the facts. They're adding characters, and they're adding things, and they're... Like, Galadriel in the official canon is not a warrior. She's essentially just like a princess, and she just kind of stands around a lot. In this show, she's a warrior, right? They have a bunch of elves of different colors and races and all that. That's not canon. At least during that, you know, during the movies. So they're kind of changing and altering a lot of stuff to appeal to certain groups, which we're seeing in literally effing everything, and it's not good in my opinion, but without getting too political, I'm looking forward to it, but I think it might get slightly ruined because they're disrespecting Tolkien's lore. That's as far as I'll go.
Yeah, that's a big no-no, because, especially because it's based off of a book. You don't want to disrespect the legacy.
Yeah. Because you can tweet something and delete it and it's technically still there, but that's kind of a bad example. But, you know, let's say you write something down on a piece of paper, you can erase it and it's gone forever. When you make a movie, it's there forever. And if you're going to ruin the lore 20, 50, 100 down, you know, if years down the line, people are going to look at it and laugh at it because they tried to do something and it didn't work, you know. Like video games, you can patch a video game, right? That's all. There's an issue. Fix it. We're done. It's over with. Movies, unless you're like Cats, where they like effing patch the shit out of the movie because it's apparently like not done.
I hate that movie. I hate that movie.
Which makes no sense.
Passion. Jeez.
Whatever. You know, movies for the most part, they are forever. And when you're gonna do the fans dirty like that, you got some issues.
Yeah.
That's my stance. I'm probably going to watch it. I might like it. Who knows? But, again, man, I love the canon, and what they're doing to the show is kind of weird. I know why they're doing it, and I'm not going to say why, but we all know why they're doing it. And I'm very much looking forward to it, but I'm also scared. All right? That's my final word on that.
Yeah, I can totally understand that.
But once you finish...
One more thing.
Okay.
One more thing, because they just released this.
Oh, what?
It's fine because we don't really know nothing about it. Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, Quantumania.
Oh yeah.
And the apparently this happened. The two Avengers 5 and 6 apparently got leaked. Like in the data mine or something. So, the first one, okay.
That's weird.
It's Avengers, Kang Dynasty. And then second one kind of got me hyped. Avengers Secret Wars.
That one sounds cool.
Yeah, they got leaked. I don't know if they're true, but Kang Dynasty sounds like a cool title. I don't think it's time for Secret Wars yet, but yeah, aside from all that mumbo jumbo, Ant-Man 3.
Quantumania, I mean, what do we know about it? Because all I know is the name. Like I know Kang's gonna be like a big, you know, a big crazy type of Thanos level threat.
Yeah. So apparently, well, no, it's been confirmed. It's gonna include Sting. I think her name is Stinger or something. Which is Scott Lang's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's getting some time, and Yeah, we don't really know nothing about the movie except Bill Murray's gonna be in it.
Really?
Yep, this is gonna be fun. Yo, what if this would be disrespectful, but I don't blame Henry Cavill. What if he signed with Marvel to play like Sentry or somebody?
That'd be amazing.
And he came out tomorrow at the Marvel panel, and he wasn't there for DC. Yo, that would be funny.
Yeah, that would be.
But he deserves justice, and honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Marvel universe. He's a great actor.
I think he would be a good Captain Britain.
Oh yeah,
him or Christian Bale.
Well, Christian Bale's already Gore.
Yeah, but he's dead.
Oh, facts. Maybe like a multiverse version.
Maybe.
And before we end here, okay, just one more thing before we wrap it up. Okay, I say this every time.
There's gonna be a lot of gameplay, man.
This is Phase 5. Okay, so Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Secret Invasion. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Echo, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, Blade, Ironheart, Agatha. No freaking way. Daredevil Born Again, Spring 2024.
I'm Googling. Hang on. Daredevil.
No, I'm seeing this on Twitter. It's official. Daredevil is getting the show.
Yeah, I know, but is it in the same canon as the Netflix, or is it like a reboot with the same guy?
Reboot with the same guy.
Okay, so see, this is my question, and no one on the internet effing knows. Are the Netflix shows canon to the MCU? Because someone said they were, and someone said they weren't, and then some guy said, "Oh, they're part of the multiverse," and so I have no clue because they referenced the Avengers movies, like they referenced the MCU in the Netflix shows, so they have to be, right? Like, do we have a definitive answer on that?
I think it's just the characters. I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, I don't know, man. That's my one issue with MCU. I don't know what they're doing with Netflix.
Yeah, that's weird. But we got Agatha, Coven of Chaos. It was originally House of Harkness, but it's Coven of Chaos now. And then Captain America: New World Order.
Where are you seeing this stuff at? I'm done.
It's literally official. I'm on Twitter.
Okay, because I'm on Google.
Don't go to Google.
Well, I'm gonna type some in here. Yeah, whatever. Oh my God, I hate Twitter. Hold up. So let me type in what Captain America 4.
Yeah.
This is just breaking news here. Oh yeah, New World Order. That sounds really ominous and evil.
And Blade is coming out November 3rd, 2023.
That'll be cool. Why is it called New World Order? That sounds really creepy.
Well, it makes sense. Kinda.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, it's exactly what's going on in today's world.
Yeah. I just hope they don't get political with that movie, but yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah. I'm hyped. So, Daredevil Born Again is 18 episodes long, and Charlie Cox will return.
That's sick.
And Loki Season 2 will release in summer of 2023.
Wow, man. The MCU is just getting bigger and bigger. I'm happy, but I'm also kind of, like, scared. Like, when's it going to stop?
It won't. And that's good, because it's good. Yeah.
So Daredevil Born Again was also a name of a comic.
Yeah.
Comes out 2024. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
I mean, obviously Charlie's back. He was in No Way Home.
Yeah. I'm so hyped.
Yeah, I can't wait. Now that's the thing. Is Matt Murdock that we see in No Way Home and this new show, is he the Netflix version, or is it like a variant? I don't know.
I don't know either. We're gonna get that answer though.
Okay. I'm pumped though. I'm really freaking pumped. I can't wait. Marvel's doing it right, man. They know what to do.
Yeah. On the other hand, DC.
Anyway, yeah, I think Marvel and Star Wars know what they're doing. DC doesn't, but DC's still good. They just got to get their stuff together.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay. I had a fun time talking about all this. It's how long have we been recording for?
Now we're 15.
Oh my gosh, I think it was worth it though to cover all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because there was some new stuff I didn't even know about, so I'm glad I learned something.
Yep, you learn something every day.
Yeah. So, guys, the next one is going to be centered around, of course, Ninjago season, I believe, 8 and 9, correct?
Yeah.
Or, sorry, 7 and 8. 7 and 8.
7 and 8.
Okay. Now, 7 is my least favorite. 8 is by far my favorite, so I can't wait to talk about Sons of Garmadon. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to go subscribe to myself and Echo Killshot. I'm going to have more of these coming out soon. I'm glad we're making these kind of quick because they're getting decent views.
Decent.
So, you know, I'm never going to get 1,000 views, but hey, if you guys are new, you like this stuff, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, all the good stuff. Man, I had a lot of fun, as always, talking. I can't wait to do it again.
Yep, same here, bro.
All right, thanks. We'll talk to you later, guys. And, yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.